Hey there, SnowTrax and SuperTrax fans. Luke here. I'm going to bring you a review today, a quick unboxing and review of what I think is an extremely cool and useful product from FXR that they released last season, and I've been using all last season and really enjoying, and something that's obviously continued on this season. What it is FXR's new heated line of gloves. Now, heated gloves aren't new. They've been tried before, and most of the ones that I tried didn't work. They were either designed for an ice fisherman and the heating elements were in the wrong spot, the batteries were big and bulky, they didn't hold a charge very long, or they just simply weren't that warm, which is a waste. The other one that got me was that the gloves themselves were pretty poor quality. So FXR, obviously tested those, and I know that they did test pretty much all the versions of gloves that are out on the market right now, and they came up with their own version, and it is, for lack of a better term, awesome. So I just wanted to do a quick unboxing and description of the features so you can see what you get when you buy a set, how they work, and why I think they're great. We're going to try and be as fast about this as possible. So this is the Recon. This is their more trail version glove. It's a thicker glove. They make a Recon that's not heated, and it is my favorite glove for trail riding. I have a pair that's lasted me now. I think I'm on my 4th season, and they are absolutely every bit as good as they were the first season. They are an extremely long wearing glove. So this is the Recon version of the heated glove. This is my wife's pair that I got for her, so they're pretty small. I'm not going to put them on. When you open up the package, this little bag that they come with is a great idea because they do come with more parts than a typical pair of gloves. Obviously, a typical pair of gloves has 2 gloves, and that's it. So you throw them in your bag and you go. These come with batteries and a charger, and you need to keep them all organized. So having this little bag that they come in is actually super handy, especially if you travel, but this is literally how you buy them in the stores, in this bag. They don't come in a box. Inside, you're going to get your gloves, obviously 2 gloves, 1 for each hand. And as you can see, if you do know what this Recon glove looked like when it's not heated, it looks exactly like this. So inside you got your hang tag, and you got all your features on the back, and if you want to read those, you can pause this and read them. It just describes the batteries and what's included and how the gloves are built, so it's nothing too major. Inside, you have 2 little storage compartments, 2 little mesh storage compartments, and obviously in one, you have your batteries. And that is the box that the batteries come in. They're very small. It says spare batteries, which is funny because they're not spares, they are the only ones. Inside, this is what you're getting. 2 very small and very lightweight lithium polymer batteries. They're 7.4 volts. And these are good quality batteries. I know a thing or two about batteries, and these are good quality batteries. So, small is key when you're putting heat in a glove. And these are small, but they have great battery life and, good performance as well. So that's what you get in there. And then you also have this other little pocket here. And inside this pocket, as I'm sure you've already guessed, is the least exciting part of the system, the charger. Now this charger is simple but very effective, and it's very intelligently designed. Obviously it simply plugs into a wall, nothing fancy there. It has dual outlets, so you charge both batteries at the same time. It doesn't matter if one's more full than the other, that makes no difference. You can plug them both in. It has simply 2 lights, one for each glove, one for each battery. They glow red when they're charging, and they glow green when they're full. And when they're full, you don't have to immediately unplug them. You can leave them plugged in overnight, and it doesn't hurt them. It just goes into a trickle charge mode, and they'll be full in the morning. So, nothing fancy. It's got lots of wire, so, you can plug it in down low and put your batteries up on a table if that's how you want to do it. It's a great little charger. It's nothing fancy, but it works excellent, and obviously you're going to need to keep it with you, which is why the little mesh storage area in the bag is great. So, that's the bag, that's the unboxing. Unboxings are always the least exciting part of things, but I wanted to show you how this works. So the first step is, the glove is, as I said, very similar to the regular Recon glove. The only differences are this little badge here, which is actually your on-off and power indicator. And then you've got a zipper right here, a waterproof zipper, which is where you put your battery in. And there's a wire inside. Obviously it's got the male end of the battery. Simply plug it in, shove it back in the pocket, any way it'll go. Get the wires tucked in there, zip it back up. Now I do have to say, one thing I want to point out is that in these gloves, the battery is in the bottom of the gauntlet. And that's smart, because if it was in the top, while you're riding, you're driving down the trail, that battery would be hitting you in the top of the wrist all the time, and it would get very annoying. It being in the bottom means that you don't even know it's there. The weight is carried in a way that doesn't get in your way. It's not obvious. You don't really even feel it once it's on. So the batteries are lightweight anyway, but in terms of their placement, it was very smart for them to place them there. The applique is on the top of the gauntlet, and I've tried to do this before, and it's very difficult to do with the wrong hand while I'm showing you in the video, but I'm going to give it another shot anyway to show you how it turns on. So the red area of the little logo here, the red power logo, is the on button. So you simply hold it down, and hopefully with my thumb in this orientation it'll work. Try it again. It wants you to turn it on the way you hold the glove, or the way that you would hold onto it. There you go. So it turns on. Red is high. I push it again. Gives me sort of a red-orange. It's hard to see in the video, but it is sort of a red, or a green-orange color rather. And that's medium. And then I push it one more time, and I get solid green is low. And then, you know, to turn it off, you just hold it down for, I don't know, it's 3 seconds or something like that. And eventually it will shut off if my thumb was in the right orientation, which it's not. So anyway, it's not a big deal. But you can see how it works, and you can see the different levels of how it works. The button breaks in a little bit. Mine are easy to push. You just literally push with your thumb and it goes fine. But I did notice when they were new that the button was a little bit harder to operate. So that's how the glove is laid out. That's how the heating element works. Now the last thing I wanted to talk about was how does the heat work? Because that's the most important question of all, is how much heat are you going to get out of these things? And are they actually warm? Do they actually function? And the answer to that question is simply yes, they function great. So snowmobile gloves, as most of you would already have noticed, they don't have a lot of insulation in the palm. And the idea is that you're holding on to a grip, generally speaking a heated grip, and you want as little in the way between your hand and the heat as you possibly can have in the palm of your hand. So snowmobile gloves don't have a lot of padding in the palm. And generally speaking, if they do have padding, it gets packed in really fast and almost disappears. That's a good thing. If they were to build these gloves with the heating element in the palm, you would A, either be able to feel it because there's wires running through there, or B, it would cause the palm to be thicker than you want it to be and therefore annoying. So these gloves don't have any heating in the palm itself, or in the palm side of the fingers, the inside of your fingers. The heating element is all in the back of the hand. It's in the back of the fingers, the back of the thumb, and then the back of your hand here as well. And on low, you're going to get up to, I think they say 5, but I've had as much as 5.5 hours worth of heat, and it's good heat. On low, it's just enough that it keeps your hand warm, but not hot when it's cold out. And you're not going to sweat, which is nice. I use it basically after lunch in the morning when, I'm just out riding, blood's flowing through my limbs like it should be. I'm not cold. My hands are great. Because the Recon glove itself is a fantastic glove already, my hand is already warm. After lunch, after I've eaten, my body pulls the blood from my appendages back into the center of my body, and it's helping me digest food, and that's one of the reasons you get colder after lunch. My hands do get cold. I have cold hands. I turn it on to low if it's a regular day out, if it's a decent day, and my hands are now warm. I got the hot grips on one side, I got the heating element on low on the other side, and I'm not cold. If it is cold out, like colder, and you're going to be running high speeds or something, I might use medium. And in medium, you're going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 3.5 hours worth of heat, probably closer to 3. And you're going to feel it. If it's warm out and you put it on medium, you're going to feel it. High, I've only ever used when it's like -40 and we're running lakes. And that's when I put it on high. If you turn it on high when your hand is in the glove and it hasn't been on at all, you will feel heat in about 3 seconds, and your hand's going to get hot. Causes your hand to sweat. Sweat's bad. You're all of a sudden now you're wet. So you're really only going to use high in the most extreme scenarios, and it lasts for about 2 to 2.5 hours on high. So it's really just sort of a last resort kind of level. But all 3 levels do work. You notice it right away, even on low when your hand's in the glove and you hit the button and turn it on. On low, you feel heat immediately. It doesn't take a long time. And that's something that other gloves I tried that were battery operated didn't do. The heating elements were either basically, you couldn't even tell they were there when they were on high, or they took forever to get hot. These ones are not like that at all. So that's the glove itself. I love these gloves. I wear them all the time. I wear this glove, the Recon, when I'm riding on the trail, And this is actually my pair from last year of my transfer heated gloves. So they're a much thinner glove. You can see that they don't have as much padding on the back or insulation on the back. They're just generally overall a thinner, lighter weight glove, but the heat works equally as well. I use these when I'm riding snow bikes, or if I'm in the mountains and it's really cold, I'll wear this glove. Generally speaking, if I am riding in the mountains, I'll throw my regular mountain riding gloves on for the morning or for the first part of the day. And then I only use the heated gloves to get back down the mountain at the end of the day when I'm soaking wet, my hands are wet, I'm freezing cold. Throw these on and I have the warmest, most pleasant ride back down the mountain of anybody in our group. So there you go. One thing I will mention that I think is a great idea, something that I've done as well, the batteries themselves, you get 5.5 to 5 hours on high, 3 hours on medium, and 2 something on low. Sorry, the other way around. 2.5 on high, 3.5 on medium, and 5.5-ish on low. I got that backwards. Anyway, the batteries, they have good life. I mean, you're going to get enough time to use them when you need them, and you don't have to use them. So if you leave in the morning, with your gloves on with the battery pack in the glove, just leave it off until you find that you actually need the heat. Which extends the life of the battery. For generally speaking, one pair will last the average guy an entire day. But on FXR's website, a spare pair of these batteries is only like $15 or $20 or something like that. Buy an extra set when you buy the gloves. Don't not buy them and then wish you had them. Just buy an extra set. Because you can leave them plugged in, the other benefit of that is that you can leave it plugged in. At night, you plug in one pair, you unplug the other pair, and put them in your gloves. In the morning, you know that they're charged, and there's no messing around with forgetting to put the batteries in or wondering if they're full. You just know that they're already full. So it's a worthwhile thing to do. I have multiple sets as well, and I run them all the time. So that's the gloves. That's FXR's heated gloves. I think they are an absolutely fantastic product. The most important part of these gloves, in my opinion, is that the glove itself is a supremely high quality glove that's going to last you for a long time. It needs to, because these aren't cheap. Go on FXR's website and check them out. They're not the cheapest pair of gloves you're ever going to buy. In fact, they might just be the most expensive pair of gloves you're ever going to buy. My opinion, 100% worth it. Your hands being cold is something that can absolutely ruin your entire day's ride. If you're uncomfortable, you're going to be unhappy. Don't skimp out on things that are important, like good gloves that are going to keep your hands warm. This is the best pair that I've ever found. Again, I need to say it again, the Recon, the Transfer, these gloves are long-lasting gloves. I've got 5 seasons, I think, going on to my 4th or 5th season on my pair of Recon gloves, and they're every bit as useful as the first day I got them. I only switched because I got a new pair of heated Recons last year. My original non-heated pair is every bit as good, and I still use it when I don't need the heaters. So anyway, that's my review. I hope you guys learned something here. I hope that was informative and helped you understand what a heated glove is, why the FXR heated gloves actually work, and why I think that they are something everybody should have a look at and at least try to save up for, or ask Santa for Christmas, if nothing else. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more reviews, and I hope to do more of these in the future, and I hope you enjoyed it.